It was 1994 when Catherine from South Africa decided that she wanted to see the world. Her first stop, Germany. Sadly, that would also be her last. Let's talk about it. Catherine was 24 years old when she decided to go backpacking through Germany. It was supposed to be very safe for young women to travel there alone. Like many backpackers, Catherine wanted to save money, so instead of using public transportation or renting a car, she decided to hitchhike her way through Germany. And this went well for a while, until the 8th of December 1994. Catherine was on her way out of Duisburg. It was a cold and rainy night, when a car stopped next to her. Inside of it was a man, by the name of Frank Gust. What Catherine didn't know was that Frank wasn't just driving around that night. No, he was on the hunt. As the roofer later recounted, he had been getting an itch for a while now. He wanted to hurt someone. More specifically, a woman. But Catherine, of course, had no clue. So she got in the car. Frank later recounted the following. The two talked for a while, until he stopped at a parking spot near a forest. He told Catherine that he was looking for his keys, and when the woman got out of the car to help him look, he shot her, as soon as she had her back turned to him. But Frank was far from done. He ripped her clothes off, and then he raped her dead body. He then cut off both her feet and her hands, to make it harder for police to identify her. And then, he left her there. As Frank later admitted to police, he had not been satisfied. It was too quick for his taste, and not gruesome enough. While he was driving away from Catherine's body, he was already planning his next murder. It's in this cold and rainy night that the Rhein-Ruhr-Ripper, as he was later known, was born. He would keep both police and the public on their toes, all through the 90s. But Frank somehow found some restraint. While he had planned to kill again, he essentially took a break. He met a woman, and he did not want to kill her. Instead, he married her. And the two even had a daughter. The two married in 1995. Only a year later, Frank got the itch again. After a fight with his wife, Frank had angrily left the house the two lived in, and he ended up in Essen's red light district, more specifically the part of it where women were waiting on the streets for their johns. There, he lured a woman by the name of Svenja into his car. The two actually slept with each other, and in the middle of that, Frank pulled the gun out and shot her in the back of her head. As he later disturbingly told the police, he wanted to feel her still warm organs, so he proceeded to nearly completely disembowel her. As he later told the police, he had learned that from his favorite hobby, hunting. He even went so far as to explain to the police that he had always enjoyed gutting the animals the most. Compared to his first killing, Frank was happy now. But again, that wouldn't last forever. In 1998, he killed again, but this time, it was not a stranger. He killed his wife's aunt, Gerlinde. This time, he chopped the body up and put the pieces into the forest. This murder, though, was a bit different, at least according to him. He later claimed that he only helped her in her suicide, an unlikely story. His last murder happened only a few months later, in June of 1998, and this time, Frank completely escalated. Now, this is a viewer discretion warning. I will keep it as ungraphic as possible, but it should still be known what this woman had to suffer through, especially because Frank has a little female fan club, but we'll get to that in a minute. His last victim was a prostitute again, Sandra. This time there was no pretense of normalcy or a quick shot in the head. As soon as he had parked the car in a remote spot, he overwhelmed her and tied her up with tension straps he had hidden under the seat. Then, he proceeded to torture Sandra. He started by burning her with his lighter until her skin started blistering and turning black. He bit her repeatedly. As the coroner later said, it looked like a wild animal had attacked her. He cut her and he beat her, and this went on for hours. Only after Sandra stopped screaming and fighting back did he shoot her. In the end, it was not the police that stopped him, but his own mother. He had made concerning remarks when he visited her, and she was so disturbed by them that she notified the police. When they searched his house, they found a shopping list on his computer. Ties, razor blades, garbage bags, and even hydrochloric acid. The police didn't have to question him long. He admitted his crimes. And the police matched his DNA up with that found on the women. He got charged with 4 counts of murder. A psychiatrist asked him later why he did it, and he claimed that he had been raped as a child more than 150 times. But he also later admitted that he was a danger to society and should not be allowed to leave prison, ever, that he still had the urge to hurt women. But he soon changed his tune. As I said before, he had his little fan club. His first wife, of course, divorced him immediately after he got arrested. But multiple women sent him letters in prison, and he ended up marrying one of them. And then, Frank changed his tune. He suddenly didn't think that he should stay in prison forever. and he actually tried to get out on parole. Now, the German justice system is a bit complicated, because technically you can get no more than 15 years. That is the longest life sentence, unless you get deemed unsafe for society. In which case, a judge can rule that after those 15 years, you have to stay in something called preventive detention. Regardless, every prisoner has the right to apply for the release after 15 years. But before a judge could even make a ruling, the two divorced. It was on his wife's behest. I guess she didn't want to risk having to live with a sadistic woman killer after all. But Frank wouldn't stay alone for long. Pretty soon after his second divorce, he got himself another girlfriend. As of today, he's still trying to get out on parole. But thankfully, a judge has still ruled him a danger to society.